So I suppose today we have another Netflix movie review for you, as well as another Indian movie review for you. Because hello, welcome back to the James Ramen Reviews for yet another episode. In today's episode, what we're going to be talking about today is Joe Thief: The Heist Begins, which is the latest straight to Netflix movie, and it's an Indian film, like I just said there. So I'll give you. I don't know if I really need to give you a load of context, but the best thing I could say going into this movie is that the trailer, the preview for this film, I really felt like, well, this was like another fun little film. And soon as I seen that it said directed by the same director as War and Pathaan, I'm like, yeah, this movie's gonna be my jam. This movie's gonna be everything I wanted, just a little bit more. So I'll get into my thoughts, how I felt about the movie as a whole and stuff like that. But we will give you a vague plot summary here, nothing that's going to spoil the entire movie. So, pretty much what this movie's all about is you've got these guys, they're planning this heist, planning this mission, but of course it's going to go awry. There's going to be a lot of steps to get to the point that they want to get to, and the movie's almost 2 hours long. So, there's all of these things. It's pretty much the latest, biggest Indian kind of film production right now. There's been a few recently, but this is another quite big Indian production, been in the talks with Netflix to have a franchise with this movie. So there's all of that. So how do I feel about the movie? So what I'm gonna say right now is that I'm gonna say like I've seen a couple of videos where people are like, this is not the greatest film because obviously it's a straight to streaming movie. There's gonna be that kind of thing like, straight to streaming films aren't that great. But for me personally, this was a really fun time here. This isn't like a movie of the year or anything, but what it does do is it entertains you. It gives you a good time at least. And I will say that while there's not enough action throughout the course of the 2 hour film, there's still enjoyment to be had because some of these actors, pretty much most of these actors, really do try their best and have a good time with the script that they are given. I especially enjoy the main star, performance and how he is just this flashy, appealing guy. And obviously there is some predictability in the plot with how oh, this is how it's going to go, how it's going to end and all of this. But honestly, one thing that took me by surprise with this movie is that this movie went somewhere where I wasn't expecting because the trailer didn't really do a lot to tell you about this and how when it happens, it sort of happens, if you know what I mean. So there is all of that, and some of the action scenes where they're throwing guys through the glass and all of this really did enjoy a lot of that. So I like the performances. There is a few bits of, there is some music in the movie. There is a really, really cool dance number towards the end of the movie where the editing choices and the style they chose to present it really does, summarize how, okay, they actually put all of these dance numbers together, wanted to create this situation where you want to feel engaged. And yeah, I feel like for the Netflix movie as well, they put a lot of money into this movie. You can just tell a lot of the scenes. There's a lot of scenes where it doesn't look ugly. It looks like it's really well designed, really well kind of made, and stuff like that. Really did enjoy this kind of movie. So honestly, I'm probably gonna give this one a solid 8 out of 10. It's a really fun time. There is music, and the music, there's not a lot of music, it's not necessarily a complaint here. The action, there's not a lot of action, not necessarily a complaint because if you know about war, if you know about especially war, right, that movie doesn't have action till later on in the film, so there's kind of like the director takes his style from other movies, but it's definitely different to Patan, and it is actually there is going to be a franchise for this movie, which I'm glad to see. I want to see where it goes next because that was quite interesting how this movie kind of turns out and what happens and stuff like that. It's a really simple, straightforward story, but I think just movies that entertain me are some of the best movies you could ever watch. So that's my review of Joe Thief: The Heist Begins. I actually finished watching this about an hour ago, and it's one of those movies where you don't really need to give yourself ages to think about it. So this is one of the exceptions for reviews where we're not going to give ourselves ages to think about it because it's a movie that's just fun, silly, turn your brain off, schlocky, simple cheese. So yeah, that's my review of Joe Thief: The Heist Begins. I'll be uploading this See you next time for another review. Bye 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 bye.